Well, guys, it's winter time, and I know that for just about all of you here in New England and the North, you know that. But wintertime does present dilemmas when it comes to violins. My man cave is always lovely and warm and comfortable because it's right next to the furnace room, and I have heaters in here. But what happens is your everything dries out, right? Your peg box, your pegs, everything gets nice and warm and begins to, well, you know what happens. Your pegs pop and your strings are loose and you got to go through it all over again. And so I just went ahead and did what I did. Oh, I don't know. Probably I think it was last winter. I got out my Ardsley peg drops. I've been using these things forever. I don't care for the peg dope that's put out by the Hills. I know it's been around for a long, long time. A lot of people use it. I don't care for it. But anyway, I use this Ardsley. There you go. Comes in. Hang on a minute. Comes in a little bottle like this. Okay, a little bottle like this, and it's inside that little plastic container, like that. And yeah, I've been using it forever, and I find that it basically revitalizes the, kind of adds moisture, but at the same time, everything begins to grab. In other words, the pegs begin to have traction in the peg holes. And anyway, so I just finished that. And as it turned out, the string popped right out of the peg, and that meant that I had to go ahead and rewind it. By the way, once you get your first winding in, make sure that you wind back over it to lock it down, and then wind toward the opposite cheek. In other words, toward the inside of the peg box, so that it lines up pretty much directly in front of where it comes over just where it comes over the nut and enters the peg box. So that's, as long as it's pretty much straight, and you have it locked down, and then you can begin to tune. But like I said, I always use this Ardsley peg drops. They work fantastic. I know it's just my opinion. Don't take my opinion, whatever. Anyway, it's been a good half hour, at least a half hour. Getting the pegs re-moisturized with the peg drops. I do just a tiny drop right next to the cheek. I pull the peg out just slightly, a tiny drop right next to the outside of the cheek, and don't use a lot, and let it run down into the inside of that cheek, and then do the same on the other side of the peg box. And again, don't use a lot. It doesn't need a lot. It just needs enough to get inside that and be able to work the joint where the peg goes through the cheeks of the peg box. And clean up your mess. I mean, if you got too much, by all means, clean it up quickly. But then just let it sit for a few minutes. Start rocking the peg in the hole, and you can hear it. You can feel that it begins to get traction. And I do that on every one of the four pegs. And by the time I get done, we're pretty good, and pretty quickly I can go ahead and tune up the violin, and I'm off and running, and it won't give me any more problem after that. But like I said, the one added problem was that my A string came right out of the hole in the peg, and I had to get that realigned. All right, enough on that. Hope you guys are playing. Just by all means, get out your violin, especially in the evening when nobody else is around, and enjoy your playing. Practice well. And it's something I'm working on, trying to practice more and get better, particularly on being able to get my vibrato to, get my fingers getting that vibrato in the string. All right, that's it for tonight, guys. Hey, thanks for dropping by. Take care. Bye. They say that some things are just like riding a bike. If you did it before, you can do it again. But I'll tell you, there's no substitute for practice when it comes to fiddle playing, violin playing, whatever you want to call it. For years, and I mean many years now, my fiddle playing has been taking a huge backseat to rebuilding my boat, my painting, of my ministry. I mean, a lot of time is just taken up getting this stuff done, And in the meantime, my fiddles have lain in their cases unused, and not until recently have I really felt the need to just, I want to be back at it. I want to be playing again. And so I've started, but it's not like I have the advantage that I used to have, because I'll tell you what, back in the day when I was hot into this, I was playing with Maynard's Old Time Fiddlers every single week. I would practice during the week for songs that we were going to be doing. We were gigging up on the mountain, the whole group, all Maynards. We'd go up on the mountain on Killington and play at some of the inns and the restaurants up there, and we'd get paid a bunch of money, but it was spit. Nobody got really rich off from that day. It was fun. We wanted to do it. We would do old nursing homes, and it was awesome to see elderly people just kind of come alive when they heard the fiddle music. They would just, eyes that were just seemingly just staring and not doing anything, and all of a sudden they would hear the music and they would seem to come alive and they start tapping their foot. You love it, and that's kind of what it was all about. But anyway, during those times, I was a lot of practice. I love to play alongside my old friend John Rouleau. He's the one who taught me how to play fiddle, and I've told this story many times of that I would go up there with my guitar in the middle of the winter and sit in the evening and just play. I would play guitar, he would play fiddle, and we'd do lots of old Irish ballads and stuff like that. It just ate it up. Until one night I told John, I said, you know what? I love hearing you, John. I could never play like that. And he turned the fiddle and the bow, his own fiddle and bow, around and handed them to me. He said, take them home. I bet you're playing in a month. I want you to take them home. And in a month, I was kind of playing, and I was not long after that I was after fiddle practice was over for the night. I was sitting over there at the piano, and I picked up John's violin and started playing it. And the leader of the group, Dick, came by and says, "When did you start learning that?" And I told him that I'd been learning on John's fiddle. And he went out in the hallway, and Maynard, the leader of the group, who had died, used to get old fiddles and just hang them on the front hallway. And if anytime anybody wanted to learn to play a fiddle, he'd take it off the wall in the front hallway and hand it to them and said, "Here, go learn." And so Dick came back in with what ended up being my beautiful, awesome old German Strad, my first old German Strad. He said, go talk to Stella. That's Maynard's widow. And offer her $35. I bet she'll take it. And so I did. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the finest violins I ever had. I mean, the sound was unbelievable. So anyway, those were the days when I played well. I played a lot. And it makes a difference. And so I'm trying to get that back. But anyway, so tonight I'm going to give I'm going to do Shenandoah one last time on my website. I've been practicing quite a bit. It ain't perfect, but it's getting better, and I've got more of the song down now. And I hope you enjoy this. This one's dedicated to you, John. He's been gone many years now, but I will never forget John Rouleau. What an awesome guy. He was much older than I, much older than I. But I'll tell you what, when he handed me his fiddle and bow that night, it changed my life. I love it. Thank you, John. And this one's for you. Thanks. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. And thanks for letting me do that. I really needed to do that for John. Love that guy. It was an awesome time in my life. Anyway, listen. By all means, give me a thumbs up if you like it, and I would really enjoy hearing from you. If you got any comments or thoughts on Old Fiddles New Life, would enjoy hearing from you. All right. God bless. Have a good evening, and we'll catch you guys next time around.